we haven't how to really look at things, and we have things come into our work area and they stay there so long they become part of our process. They become part of what is the landscape. And what this does, it says, hey, let's get all that unnecessary stuff out of our way.
One of the things that we found underneath the Christmas decorations were these banana blades. And these were very important. Just, I think about 2 months ago, we had a big demand for them. So these really shouldn't have been under there.
I figured out we had a lot of things hidden in cabinets and drawers and on racks that I didn't know we had, and it was obvious that they weren't needed.
In this tape, you will start applying the main activities of the 5S system, beginning with the first S, sort. Sort means to sort through and sort out. The full meaning of the word is to sort through everything in the target area. Separate out the items that are in the wrong place, and remove those items from the work area. The guiding principle for sort is, when in doubt, move it out. Factories are full of things that are no longer needed or are kept just in case they might be needed someday. As these unneeded items accumulate, they turn into problems and waste. The clutter from unneeded items can make the work area unsafe. As such items crowd the factory, more and more space is used for non-value-adding activities. Unneeded inventory, machines, equipment, and tools make it difficult to work in the area. And people have to walk around things, which makes it take longer to perform operations. When an area is filled with clutter, it takes longer to find what you need. In addition, stored items could break or become unusable or obsolete. To compound the problem, unusable or damaged parts increase the possibility of quality problems when accidentally used in production.
It was amazing to find the stuff that we found. I was a little concerned to some of the items that pertain to quality that we found, because there's stuff out there that's not in good shape, but it's still out on the line. You know, what if that was to get used? We could make a defective product.
All of these problems add costs to production, and these costs are pure waste. Unfortunately, having unneeded items around tends to become the norm. We get used to it and no longer see it as a problem. So sort means eliminating all items that are not currently needed, and the key word in that phrase is current. If you don't need it in the near future, don't keep it in your immediate work area. To apply sort and to continue to practice it every day, we need a simple method. A method that will visually identify unneeded items, describe why each item is not needed, and tell us who identified the problem. That method is called the red tag technique. In the red tag technique, we mark potentially unneeded items with a tag. The tag holds our attention and documents issues about the items while we decide what to do with the items. There are 5 steps in the red tag technique. Prepare red tags. Attach red tags to unneeded items. Remove red tagged items to a temporary holding area. Evaluate red tagged items and decide what to do with them. Dispose of the items. Before actually red tagging, you should prepare red tags that will hold the information you will need. Red tags are essentially places to write information. The red color draws attention so problems are not forgotten. Your red tags can be very simple, holding only your name, the date, the location where the item was found, and the reason for red tagging. Or they can hold more information, such as the tagger's name, the location of the item, its category, the quantity and value of the item, the reason for red tagging, the date, and a red tag file number. Since unneeded items are usually mixed in with necessary ones, first highlight the unneeded items by attaching red tags to them. This is the second step in the red tag technique. Perform red tagging by walking through the target area and identifying unneeded items or items that pose safety hazards in their current location. Fill out a red tag for each of these items and attach the tag directly to the item so that it's visible from a distance. If you're not sure about an item, red tag it. Perform red tagging as a team, and be sure to include team members who do not work in the area regularly. They will give you a fresh perspective on things. Begin red tagging by examining floors and aisleways. You will usually find things like broken parts, pallets, boxes, empty cans, and materials. Items on the floor create serious safety risks. Then look under stairs, next to pillars, and in corners. These are common places where unused items, trash, and junk accumulate. If it's obvious that items are trash, just throw them out. Next, look behind and underneath machines, equipment, and carts. You will often find parts, extra work in process, small amounts of stock, and trash in these places. Next, look on shelves for unnecessary or broken bits, dies, tools, parts, and other items. Shelves often accumulate things that you no longer intend to use but don't know what to do with. Especially look at top and bottom shelves. They accumulate the most junk. Also examine other storage areas such as closets, racks, and sheds. Besides accumulating unnecessary inventory and supplies, these areas tend to become junk heaps, especially if they have doors to hide what they contain. Now look inside drawers, lockers, and file cabinets for magazines, catalogs, manuals, books, and forms that are out of date, have expired, or are no longer needed or used. And don't forget walls and bulletin boards. Are there notes and schedules that are outdated or have turned yellow with age? Usually there are all sorts of things posted on bulletin boards and walls that are not needed. Pay special attention to your machines. Red tag any safety concerns. Any items that don't belong on or near your machine can cause a real safety problem. Especially look for wires and tubing that could be hazardous.
We saw areas where we had spills on the floor that we might not have noticed because they were actually covered up by things that didn't need to be there. So if we got a leak, well, we can identify that area. Let's fix that leak because we don't need a leak on the floor.
One of the most important items to deal with in red tagging is unneeded or excess inventory. As you review the target area and attach red tags, ask yourself whether you have examined every surface and tagged all unnecessary or unsafe items. The red tag inspection sheet in the participant's guide will help you perform this task. In addition, whenever you come across a specific cleaning or maintenance problem, red tag it. To keep red tagging at a fast pace, wait until the next step to actually move items out of the target area. The third step in red tagging is to remove tagged items that are not needed where they are and place them in a temporary red tag holding area. This frees the target area of clutter and temporarily stores the tagged items until their final disposition can be determined. Of course, some items, such as large pieces of equipment, may have to stay in place until removal can be arranged. Make sure the red tag is especially obvious on these items. Another issue is inventory. The decision to remove large amounts of excess inventory may need to involve people other than those on your team. In most cases, the people who work in the target area should decide which items to remove to the red tag holding area. The 5S implementation team should facilitate this process in any way possible. Remember, there is only one criterion to meet for removing an item to the temporary holding area. It is not needed where it is located. It doesn't matter whether the item might be used somewhere else in the work area. All that matters is that the item is not needed where it's located. The proper location for the item will be determined in the next step. The next two steps in the red tag technique are to evaluate the items in the holding area and decide what to do with them. and then to dispose of items that are truly unneeded. Two important tools are used here: the item disposition list and the unneeded items log, which are provided in the participant's guide. Remember, the red tag holding area is a temporary storage spot, and items should stay there only for an agreed-upon time. Now let's review how to perform red tagging. After preparing red tags, sort through everything in the target area by attaching tags to all unneeded or out-of-place items. Then remove what you don't need in that location to a red tag holding area. The 5S implementation team, along with the employees and managers from the area, decide what to do with those items. If it's completely obvious that something is trash, just throw it out. Remember, items should not stay in the holding area for more than an agreed-upon time. The red tag technique is designed to make it easy for you to sort unneeded items out of your work area. It allows everyone to participate simply by filling out a red tag and attaching it to the item that may not be needed in the area. You will find that performing sort in your area will make it a more pleasant and efficient place to work. You will probably be storing less inventory, and unneeded tools and equipment won't be cluttering your work area. And most important, the area will be a safer place to work. So remember the red tag motto: when in doubt, move it out.
Support your 5S application with these additional resources. From Teletrain, Total Productive Maintenance, a 4-part video series appropriate for all levels of your organization. For more information, call 1-800-251-6018. From Productivity, 5 Pillars of the Visual Workplace, a comprehensive source book with dozens of examples of 5S implementation for the shop floor and office. 5S for Operators, an illustrated, easy-to-read introduction to the 5S system, developed specifically for shop floor employees. 5S for Operators Learning Package includes books, overheads, color slides, and facilitation guide for leading a learning group based on 5S for Operators. Training and consulting on 5S and the visual workplace from the Productivity Consulting Group. For more information, call 1-800-394-6868 or 1-800-966-5423.